In the year 1980, I was 8 years old, and I experienced something that was actually a worldwide historical event that year. Around May of that year, a fucking volcano exploded about an hour from my house. Literally. You may have heard about this, or you may have read about this in school. It was Mount St. Helens, which was about an hour and a half from my house at the time. Matter of fact, where I am right now, Mount St. Helens is still there. It's about a half an hour drive in that direction. And it was very interesting and kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be an 8-year-old kid with a volcano going off less than an hour from your house. What happened is that the entire region of the Portland-Seattle area, for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles from the explosion, was covered in ash, this gray ash. It was like gray snow. And where I lived in my home, even though we were an hour away from the mountain, everything was covered in this gray ash with about a centimeter layer of this gray ash. It was like going outside and you'd walk around in it, and it was literally like a fine gray snow. It was in the air. It was all over the place. It caused all kinds of chaos. It caused all kinds of chaos with the climate in the area. Matter of fact, to this very day, 40 years later, it is entirely possible that I have some minor lung damage from breathing that crap back when I was 8 years old. It was a unique experience, to say the least, and I have very fond memories of it. Now, most people are aware of Mount St. Helens. If you say the word, they go, oh yeah, didn't that thing go off back in da-da-da-da? They're aware of Mount St. Helens, and they're aware of the broad strokes of what occurred. What people don't know is that there were many people who actually lived on that mountain, and they knew the mountain was going to explode in advance. So they were able to evacuate most everyone before the mountain exploded, and that's why comparatively few people actually died in the explosion, because they had plenty of advance warning. And interestingly, when they went to go evacuate people off of the mountain, there were several people who said no. So the evacuation crew would go knock on their doors, and some old man would open the door and they'd say, sir, the volcano is about to explode. You're gonna fucking die. You need to pack your stuff right now and come with us. And some people said, no, I'm not going. Fuck you, get off my land. And they said, sir, don't you understand? There's going to be an explosion. The volcano is going to explode. You're going to die. Your chance of survival is zero. You will literally die, and everything in your home will be destroyed. You need to come with us right now. And there were some people who said, I don't care. Screw you. I'm not going anywhere. I've lived here my whole life, and I'm going to stay here because this mountain is my home. And blobbity blew a bunch of other emotional bullshit. There were a small percentage of people who said it was a conspiracy from the government and said, oh, you're lying. You're a government employee and it's a government conspiracy. And again, blobbity blew. Now, fortunately, most people were evacuated off of the mountain, but some of these weird psychos, some of these stubborn dickheads stayed on the mountain. And the mountain finally exploded. The top half was destroyed immediately. It actually exploded out from the side to a degree. And during the explosion, the lava and the magma coming out of the mountain, coming out of the volcano, was so hot that it melted all the snow on the mountain. This created a giant mud tidal wave. Imagine a tidal wave made out of mud. And this tidal wave went down the mountain, and it completely wiped out all of the forests, all of the wildlife, and these people in their cabins. Literally, it came and destroyed these people's cabins with these people in them. They were killed instantly. It literally wiped them and their homes and everything they owned off of the face of the earth. These people died because they were stubborn or because they were weird. Even though these people were given plenty of advance notice as to what was occurring, they still said no, and they paid the price with their lives. Here is something that I know for a fact, and I'm going to prove it in a minute. Many of you watching this video right now are going to someday, several years in the future, you're going to write me an email, or you're going to hit me up on social media and send me a DM. And what you're going to say is something like this. You're going to say, Caleb, I saw your videos back in 2022. I read your blogs. I saw your content back in 2022, 2021, 2020, and I blew you off, and I said, it's not a big deal. The West isn't collapsing. Everything will be fine. Or, it'll be okay because we'll invent some kind of technology that'll fix everything. Or, well, if I just vote for these certain people, they'll fix this problem. It's not going to be as bad as you think. Or if I move to Texas or Florida, everything will be fine in Texas and Florida forever. Or some other bullshit excuse. And then you're going to say, I saw your content and I didn't take your advice. And because I didn't take your advice, and then you're going to give me a horror story. Something horrible that has happened to you or someone you love or someone in your family. And I'm going to hate reading it, but you're really going to hate experiencing it. And I know for a fact I'm going to get these emails and DMs and phone calls or what have you. And the reason I know that for a fact is because I have already received them through my other content. As some of you may or may not know, I came out of the pickup artist world. That's where this business started. I taught dating and relationship advice for men. I still do under the Alpha Male 2.0 brand. And one of the concepts of the Alpha Male 2.0 is non-monogamy. And many years ago, when I was on pickup artist forums and lots of pickup artist buddies, I had several guys, more than several actually, get very upset with me when I said that they shouldn't be monogamous. They would get into monogamous relationships with their girlfriends or live-in girlfriends, or in some cases they even got married, and I would tell them they shouldn't do that. They should be non-monogamous. They shouldn't make it legal, XYZ, all the standard Alpha Male 2.0 relationship models. And these guys got very angry with me, and they told me to fuck off. They called me names. They called me a liar. They called me a scammer and various other things. And many years later, many of these guys, not all of them, but many of them hit me up over email or over Facebook or over Instagram, and they basically said, hey man, you warned me about not getting monogamous and not doing XYZ with my then girlfriend or then live-in girlfriend or then wife, and you were exactly right. Everything you said that was going to happen negative did in fact happen. There were affairs, there was cheating, there was fighting, there was drama, there was physical violence, there was divorces, or what have you. The horror story varied per guy, but he said, I wish I had listened to you back then, and I'm sorry that I didn't. And again, I've received many of those emails and DMs over the years, including from big name guys in the pickup artist, red pill, manosphere world, names you would know if I said them, and I'm not going to say them. And I want to repeat this again because I want to make sure you understand this. I am not talking about one or two guys. Many guys have sent me emails like this, either known name guys or just random guys in my audience who blew me off many years ago when I talked about how long-term monogamy doesn't work, and they got long-term monogamous anyway, and they had all the problems that I predicted, and they wrote me and regretted not taking my advice at the time. Now that's just one topic. I will give you another topic. In 2020, when the cerveza sickness hit, I received many comments, many DMs, and emails from people in my audience who wrote into me and said basically, hey Caleb, I've been watching your content for 5 years. You've been preaching location-independent income for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years now. I've watched your content and read your blog posts, and I didn't do anything, and now I am stuck here in insert horrible country, usually a Western country. I'm locked down in insert horrible country. I'm not going to list off a bunch of countries, but a bunch of countries where they wanted to leave, but they weren't allowed to leave, or they couldn't leave because they didn't have location-independent income. Today, I'm getting some of your emails and comments and DMs from you guys in Australia and Canada because you didn't take my advice back when I was giving it. You just blew it off or thought it wasn't any big deal, or you were busy with other things in your life, and now I get your horror stories. This is why I know for a fact some of you watching this video right now, 3 years from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, God forbid 10 years from now, are going to write me an email or DM or what have you saying that I saw your videos in 2022 about getting location-independent income, about getting residencies abroad, about setting up an international plan B, or about moving out of my collapsing Western country, and I blew you off, and I didn't do it, and this horrible thing happened to me and or my family. I don't want to receive those emails. You might think that I like getting those emails because I'm like, haha, told you so. Incorrect. Now, if I was a younger guy, if I was in my 20s, I probably would have that reaction. Haha, told you so, I was right. I'm not. I'm an old man now, I'm almost 50. I don't want to get those emails. Instead, I want the other emails that I get that say, hey, Caleb, I took your advice. I started my Alpha 2.0 business. I'm making $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month, location dependent now, and I have moved to this country and my life is so much better. For some reason, it feels like I don't get those emails quite as often. I do get them, but maybe the negative emails are the ones that stand out in my mind. I want the positive emails. I want the emails from you that said that you actually took my advice to heart and you actually took action and implemented these things in your lifestyle so that you were okay. I don't want a bunch of emails in the future, and I know I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get a bunch. As the Western world continues to collapse, as authoritarianism continues to rise, as taxes and cost of living and currency values drop, as all these things get worse, I know I'm gonna get these emails, and I have this horrible feeling that I'm gonna get more of these emails over the next 3 to 10 years than I have ever received before on any other topics I've discussed. And I don't want them. I don't want those emails. I don't want those DMs. I want the opposite, or at least I want silence. I don't want to hear about how you didn't take my advice and now you're fucked. And now you had all these problems in your life, all these horrible things that happened to you. I don't want to hear it. I'd rather you take action on this advice now. It's not that hard. Setting up location independent income is not that hard. Yes, it takes some time. Yes, it takes some focus. Setting up a residency in another country, a legal residency in one other country that you like, especially if it's one of those countries that I've discussed in the past, is not that difficult. Getting an extra passport, that is a little more difficult. But getting a residency, which is all you need to move out of your country or at least set up an international backup plan in addition to your location-independent income, it's not that difficult. Your long-term safety in this world are based on 3 things in terms of sovereign CEO. Number 1, location-independent income. Number 2, moving out of your collapsing Western world, or at least setting up an international backup plan so you can go there quickly. And number 3, I have done a video on this before, is where can you be in 72 hours? Where can you be boots on the ground within 72 hours? When you have all those 3 things in place, and these are not difficult things to do, but when you have all 3 of those things in place, you're good. You're covered. I have all 3 of those things. I have location-dependent income. I have for over a decade now. I'm covered on that. I don't live in the collapsing Western world anymore. I live in Dubai. Well, Caleb, what if something bad happens to Dubai? I've covered the 3rd thing. From Dubai, if anything ever bad happens in Dubai, I can literally be in Paraguay within 48 hours. Not 72 hours, 48 hours. Not leave in 48 hours. My feet will be on the ground in Asuncion, Paraguay within 48 hours, given any day of the week. I can be in Mexico within 24 hours, which also means, God forbid, I can be in the United States if I really need to, within 24 hours. I can be in Armenia within 12 to 13 hours, usually the same day. And by the way, I have legal residency, full-time residency in all those countries. And my wife has residency in most of those countries. By the end of the year, she'll have residency in all those countries too. Because I have taken my own advice. I sleep very, very, very well at night. While everyone else is freaking out about politics and the economy and wars and all this crap, I shrug it all off because I have put these 3 things in place in my life. I am not going to be one of those people down the road who says, oh man, now I'm having this problem because I don't have location-dependent income. Or I stayed in the collapsing Western world. I have no international options. That's going to be too many of you going forward, and I'm going to get your emails, I'm going to hate it. If you need help, utilize my resources. I have hundreds of YouTube videos. I have over 1,000 articles at the blogs at both calebjones.com and alphamale20.com. I have online courses and books at store.calebjones.com. Join smic.com if you want my help personally. You can certainly go to a2heroes.com to get some of the coaching services and other services we're offering as NFTs there. You have lots of options in terms of my content, both free content and content you can pay for that is better and more specific and more interactive. You have so many options. Please take whatever options you need and take action on this stuff so you don't have to send me a horrible horror story email in 3, 4, 5, 6 years. By the way, let me end with this. Going along with the Mount St. Helens analogy of the people who just said, get off my land and died, there's another category of you out in my audience. And that's the category of you live on Mount St. Helens the day before it explodes. You have a little cabin, and the evacuation squad comes knocking on your door and says, sir, you need to leave right now. Pack your stuff and come with us or you're going to die. And you say, yeah, I should come with you. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I don't want to die. Yeah, this is a volcano. It's a problem. But I can't right now. I'm making eggs. I'm making omelet. I got an omelet on a stove. So I can't right now. I mean, I got to play, World of Warcraft. I got to play, I'm dating myself. I got to play Overwatch. I'm playing Overwatch right now. Or, yeah, you're right, I need to go, but my mom would be pissed. My mom would be so pissed if I just packed up her stuff and she'd be so mad at me, so I can't do that. Maybe come back tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it later. But yeah, you're right. I need to go. I need to evacuate. I need to take action. You're right. But I got a bunch of other shit, dude. I got this and that and this and that. You guys will be sending me emails too. Don't do it.